You probably think you're in control, right? That every little choice you make, what you listen to on your way to work, why you decided to click on this particular explainer, is a product of your own free will. And look, that's a nice thought, it's comforting, but for the most part, it's a complete illusion. Because right now, as we speak, there are invisible scripts running in the background of your life, shaping your every move. And today, we're going to learn how to read them. Welcome to Unspoken Rule. Okay, let's jump right in with a super simple choice. Picture this. You're at the movies, and that smell of buttered popcorn is it's everywhere. You walk up to the counter and you see these two options. A small popcorn for $4 or a large for $8. So what's the play? The large is double the price, yeah, but you're probably getting way more than double the popcorn. It feels like a real toss-up, A 50-50 call that depends on how hungry you are and how much cash you've got. It feels like your decision.
But what if I told you that the second you walked up to that counter, the game was already rigged? That your feeling of control was just a clever bit of stage magic designed to guide you exactly where someone else wanted you to go. This, right here, is what we're all about today. Uncovering the hidden architecture of choice that pretty much runs our lives. We're going to go on a journey, starting with the ancient code running inside our own heads, then to the corporate playbooks designed to hack it, and finally to the AI that's scaling these rules to run the entire modern world.
So first stop, we've got to look at the source code itself, your brain. Now, your brain is an absolute marvel. It's a supercomputer that can write poetry and send robots to other planets. But it is also incredibly lazy. See, being conscious and making decisions burns a ton of energy. So to save on power, your brain pretty much outsources up to 95% of your daily actions to this silent, super efficient autopilot system. And we call this system your habits. So how does this whole autopilot thing work? Well, it runs on this beautifully simple bit of programming called the habit loop. And this isn't just some clever metaphor, by the way. It is a real physical circuit that's hardwired into a deep, ancient part of your brain. Think of it like the operating system for your life, just humming along quietly in the background. And it's made of just 3 simple little steps. Let's break this code down, shall we? It all kicks off with a cue. This is the trigger, the little flag that tells your brain, hey, time to run that program. It could be the notification sound from your phone. It could be a certain time of day, or just a feeling of boredom. The cue immediately launches the routine. That's the action itself. This is you unlocking your phone and opening up a social media app, or grabbing a snack from the kitchen. And finally, you get the reward, that little hit of pleasure or relief or distraction that tells your brain's reward center, hey, that was good. Let's file this whole sequence away for next time. But here is the secret ingredient, the part that turns this from just a simple sequence into a powerful automatic habit. It's not actually the reward itself that drives behavior. It's the craving for the reward. Once your brain has made that connection a few times, it starts to anticipate that reward the second it spots the cue. And that feeling, that little neurological itch of anticipation, that's what powers the whole loop. It's why the ding from your phone feels so urgent. You're not craving the notification itself. You're craving the little hit of social validation it might represent. And this really just nails the point. As Charles Duhigg, the author of The Power of Habit, puts it, the craving is the engine. Without it, the loop is just a suggestion, but with it, it becomes a compulsion. This is the fundamental, unspoken rule of your own mind. But what happens when someone else gets their hands on your source code? All right, let's move on because this is where things get really fascinating. See, big companies didn't just read the user manual for the human brain, they started writing their own programs to run on it. Companies like Starbucks realized they could actually reverse engineer the habit loop to build a better employee, and in doing so, build a billion-dollar empire. And to do this, they went after something called a keystone habit. Now, a keystone habit is like a master key. It's one fundamental habit that, once you lock into place, it starts to unlock a whole cascade of other positive changes without you even trying. You know the classic example, exercise. If you start going to the gym regularly, you'll often find that you start eating better, sleeping more soundly, and being more productive at work, all as a downstream effect. It's one change that sends ripples across your entire life.
So for a company that deals with customers all day, what's the most important keystone habit an employee can have? It's willpower, or, self-regulation. For a long time, we thought of willpower as this fixed thing. You either had it or you didn't. But we now know that's totally wrong. Willpower isn't a skill, it's a muscle. You can train it and make it stronger, but it also gets tired out with use. And for Starbucks, whose entire brand is built on giving you a pleasant, consistent experience, training that willpower muscle became their #1 mission.
But they hit a snag. The willpower muscle, like any other muscle, is most likely to give out when it's put under sudden, unexpected strain. You know, a customer starts yelling because their drink is too cold, the espresso machine dies during the morning rush, the drive-thru is backed up around the block. In those moments of high stress, an employee's trained self-control can just evaporate. So the challenge for Starbucks was huge. How do you make willpower automatic? How do you turn it into a reflex that kicks in even when everything else is falling apart?
They solved it by building a brand new artificial habit loop. They call it the LATTE method, and it is a perfect textbook application of neuroscience. So what's the cue? An unhappy customer. That's the trigger. The routine, this pre-planned 5-step dance. Listen, acknowledge, take action, thank, explain. And the reward? Well, you get a de-escalated situation, a happy customer, and for the employee, a really powerful feeling of control and professionalism. By drilling this over and over and over, they replace that high-stress, unpredictable moment with a calm, automatic script. They literally installed a willpower habit.
Okay, so we know our brains run on habits, and we know big companies can install new ones. But what about getting you to make a specific choice in a single moment? Well, this brings us to one of the most clever, widespread, and, let's be honest, sneaky tricks in the entire marketing playbook. It's a way to make you feel like a genius for choosing exactly what they wanted you to choose from the very beginning.
Let's go back to the movies. So our original choice was kinda tough. Small for $4, large for $8. A tricky value proposition. But now, watch what happens. The theater adds a third option, a medium popcorn for $7.50. And all of a sudden, the choice isn't hard anymore, is it? Nope, it's blindingly obvious. That large popcorn is an incredible deal. For only 50 cents more than the medium, you get a ton more popcorn. The small is totally irrelevant. The medium is a complete ripoff. The large is the only logical choice. You'd have to be a fool not to buy it.
What you just experienced is a very powerful cognitive bias known as the decoy effect. That medium popcorn, that's the decoy. It was never meant to be a popular choice. Its one and only job on this planet is to be strategically terrible, to make one of the other options, usually the more expensive one, look fantastic by comparison. It hijacks your brain's natural desire to make quick, easy comparisons, and it just manufactures an illusion of superior value.
And I promise you, once you see this, you will see it absolutely everywhere. Just look at this classic subscription pricing model. You've got a monthly plan for $12, an annual plan for $99, and then, wedged right in the middle is the decoy, a quarterly plan for $30. Well, it's obviously a worse deal than paying month to month, and it makes that $99 annual fee look like the most responsible, savvy financial decision you could possibly make all year. So the key is this: they aren't selling 3 options. They're selling one and using the other 2 as marketing tools to steer you right to it.
So far, we've been talking pretty small scale. Your brain, a coffee shop, a movie theater. But in the 21st century, these principles of habit and choice have been cranked up to 11 and automated by the most powerful network in human history, the internet. This is where the unspoken rules go from influencing just one person to shaping the beliefs and behaviors of billions.
The engine behind this global spread is a phenomenon called social contagion. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's the digital version of a biological virus. Ideas, emotions, behaviors, even what you decide to buy can spread from person to person through our social networks. And this isn't just random chaos. It's a predictable science that forms the foundation of every viral video, meme, and marketing campaign you've ever seen. Now, not all ideas spread in the same way. There are really 2 main flavors. You've got simple contagion, which is kind of like a sneeze. One single exposure and it's out there. You see a funny cat meme, you share it. There's no cost, no risk, not much thought required. But then there's complex contagion. This is for the bigger, riskier ideas. Things like buying an expensive new phone, committing to a political cause, or adopting a whole new diet. For those ideas to take root, you need to hear about them from multiple, trusted sources. You need that social proof before your brain will accept it as safe and worthwhile.
And this brings us to our final act. This is where all of these concepts, habit loops, cognitive biases, social contagion, are all fused together and supercharged by the most powerful force in the modern world, the algorithm. The AI running our social media feeds and search results have become the ultimate digital puppet masters, pulling all of these psychological strings at a scale that is just mind-blowing.
Modern AI isn't just sitting back and watching. It's actively learning and acting. It analyzes trillions of data points in real time, Not just what you click, but how long you watch something, how fast you scroll past something else, what emotions your comments suggest. It can forecast the lifespan of a trend with terrifying accuracy, generate the perfect hashtag to maximize a simple contagion, and, this is the really wild part, it can create and deliver hyper-personalized decoys just for you in real time to nudge your behavior in a certain direction.
This is the true power of big data. It's essentially a never-ending global focus group that never sleeps. These algorithms are constantly running millions of tiny experiments on all of us, tweaking the headlines, the colors, the prices, all to find the perfect cue that will trigger your routine, that will make you crave the reward of a purchase or a like. They are mapping our collective psychology with the precision no human could ever hope to achieve.
And it's only getting more sophisticated. This quote here points to a very near future where the decoy effect isn't just a static menu at the movie theater. It's dynamic. Imagine you're booking a flight. The algorithm knows your browsing history, it knows you're in a rush, and it knows you have a bias for premium options. So it might generate a slightly worse, slightly cheaper basic economy ticket just for you, making the standard economy fare look like an amazing deal, nudging you to click buy without a single second thought.
Which of course brings us to the final and frankly pretty unsettling question at the heart of all this. We started this journey inside our own minds with a simple ancient loop designed to save energy. We saw how that loop could be programmed by a corporation to guarantee good customer service. We saw how our own sense of logic could be tricked by a bad option on a menu. And we've seen how all of it can be automated and scaled by algorithms that seem to know our desires better than we do. So, if all of that is true, how much of what you think of as you, your tastes, your beliefs, your choices, is actually you? And how much is just the script you've been handed? The final unspoken rule of this channel is that you can't leave without leaving a mark. The algorithm is always watching, so make your choice count. Hit that like button to give its reward center a little positive reinforcement. Subscribe to join our complex contagion, and ring that bell to get the cue for our next deep dive. And down in the comments, let us know about a time you spotted a decoy out in the wild. Let's learn to read these rules together.